Hello everybody, welcome back. This is EonShiKeno, and I've got a game for you from Go for SC2 Cup. We've got Lowely here, Lowely. He is our yellow Zerg player down here in the bottom part of Metalopolis, and his opponent is MaNa. He is our green Protoss player in the top part of the map. I am pretty familiar with MaNa. He's been around, he's in a familiar clan, but Lowely, I don't know which way to say that, but I haven't heard of this player before, but he's matched up against MaNa, so hopefully he's a pretty good player. Hopefully he's made it pretty far in this tournament. And let's see what he's got this game. So we do have cross-map spawning positions here, and of course MaNa is going to go scout that out right away. Now I'm not quite sure what version of the map this is. If this is the version where there's no close spawning positions, that's why I didn't scout over here. So I think this may be like the version of the map where you can't spawn close spawning position. That's usually kind of a standard map nowadays in tournaments, just because it's very annoying just to have that close spawning distance there. And we got a spawning pool going up first for Lowely. Actually, I think I'm going to say that Lowely. Anyways, we got MaNa up here at the front. Gonna get a gateway, get a assimilator. So standard fare there. And we've got a probe out here at the front of his base, just scouting, looking around for that expansion, wanting to know when that expansion is going to come down. He's probably going to get a little frustrated pretty soon. You have to go up there and check to see whether or not he's going to take his gas, or whether he's going to come down there with an expansion. And a lot of time has been passed, and he's going to come up there and take a look and just snatch some minerals. Gas is going up for Lowely. And there we do have the Cybernetic Core up and going here for MaNa. Is he going to start his Zealot out yet? Might do that as soon as he gets his first 100. Nope. He's going to make another gas, so getting a second gas there very fast. Zealot's out, going to get rid of that probe. No problem. He's going to easily be able to lay them that. And he's going to come in here and get a scout. Nope, not going to see any roaches. That's about the only thing you can actually see this early on is a roach warren if they're going to try and sneak out some roaches. But there's no roaches coming from Lowely. And we have 4 Zerglings going on a mission. And where are they going? They're going up here. Has he actually scouted his opponent yet? No, he hasn't. So Lowely's scouts up here, so I'm not quite sure. I think he just may been confused there. I kind of think that MaNa knows this map pretty well and scouted down here because he knew if his opponent was scouting over in this position, he would have seen the Overlord coming to his base. So I think that's why we saw MaNa do that. 4 Zerglings outside the base of MaNa, and they're not going to be able to get in there. They may give it a good attempt, though. Just going to come up there and check. That Zealot is in the perfect position, so there's no way. But the Stalker's going to get out, and he's going to take out these Zerglings. Not a problem. Metabolic Boost has got a ways to go, so this Stalker is going to get a couple free kills here. And he may even actually get this Overlord if he remembers to head up there, because that Overlord is kind of out there, out in the open. That'll be a free kill for him. So the expansion for Lowely is just about up. And he's got his first queen out. That thing's been out for a little bit here. And now he's going to run that queen down to the ramp, probably starting a second queen here pretty soon. It's 12 Zerglings on the way. And that is a lot of Zerglings. So it looks like we're going to see Lowely go for an aggressive play here. Just go for the hatch straight into aggressive play with the Zerglings. Speed is going to be done pretty soon. He's pulling the Zerglings back home. And what do we got here? In MaNa's side of the world, he's throwing up a pylon. And how many gateways does he have? 2 gateways going up. Has a pretty good spread on them. It's going to be hard to scout, so they're not all clumped up. His opponent, Lowely, won't know whether or not how many he's going if he does decide to suicide and overload in there. And there are a lot of Zerglings heading out, and this guy's kind of taking the long way around. And this is basically just going to be MaNa's game to lose here. Well, actually, no, we got 4 drones coming out, and we have +1 attack upgrade. So he's just going to try and be a little aggressive with these Zerglings to try and cancel this expansion. He's got a Zealot, Stalker, 2 sentries. We'll see how he's going to do here. He's threw down a pylon up there at the top, trying to work on this wall. It's a good spot for a pylon, and he's going to be forced to pull some units up here to try and deal with that. He's leaving some more Zerglings here in the back, and he's going to come in there and get a good surround there. Forced a little late, and that one Zergling's going to get in there, but the second one, actually that force was pretty good there, only letting 1 in there. And MaNa just held that off, not a problem. And that attack didn't go so well for Lowely. Yeah, kind of wasted a lot of Zerglings there. It didn't accomplish much. He didn't even kill this pylon. I think he killed a probe, but that's about it. He probably would have been far better off just straight droning up to that point. And now we have Hallucination coming out. Ooh, I love Hallucination. Ooh, we have an expansion, a 3rd up for Lowely. Gonna go over here on the right side of the map. He's got some Zerglings hanging out up here at the top, scouting around with this Zergling, hanging out with his own log tower, so might as well do that. And some more Zerglings gonna come in for another sneak attack. Not much they can really target here. There's just an outlying pylon. That's about it. Forge is just about done. +1 attack upgrade for the Zerglings is just about done. I really think Zergling play, ZVP is really strong. Whenever I play Protoss and Ladder, it's one of the harder matchups I have, just because it takes forever to push out, and you always feel like you're going to get completely surrounded by a massive number of Zerglings. And depending on what your opponent does, they may only show like 4 or 5 Zerglings, and they would end up having like 40 hidden, and just use a couple to scout with. So there's always that fear you have in your head whenever you play Protoss against a Zerg player who is going a lot of Zerglings. So we have 12 more Zerglings coming at. That +1 upgrade is just about finished. He's getting 2 more gas on the way, and this Phoenix is actually going to go do some valuable scouting information. He's going to see 2 spine crawlers, and did he actually see that third over there? He did see the third. He's aware of that. Good scouting pattern there with the hallucination. And Chrono boosting out a +1 attack upgrade here for his ground units. He's got it for robotics facility up. I'm expecting him to switch into Colossus just because of the Zerglings. Whoop! My headphones fell out. So we have 7 more drones coming out. Infestation pit up. So yeah, Infestors plus Zerglings. This could be a pretty dirty combo. He's got centrifugal hooks just now starting, +2 attack up on the way. Robotics bay just now being started. Another Phoenix. Gonna go out there do some scouting. Definitely like the constant scouting from MaNa. And he's got an observer out, so that thing's going to go out and do some observing of its own. Let's check the old Harvester tab. 46 versus 45, pretty close here so far. And there's a pretty large number of Zerglings out on the map, 25 Zerglings. And he's got 3 queens up and going. 3rd queen over here at his expansion. Not that many creep tumors, just the 1 creep tumor out here outside his base. Definitely could do a little bit better job with the creep tumors, considering his entire army is all ground-based. It definitely would behoove him to get some creep tumors up and going. So you have the 3rd for MaNa, a little bit behind his Zerg counterpart, and that's going to be able to get up probably, unless Lowely has scouted that. Let's check out his vision here. Nope, he has not had vision of that, but he does see the 2 pylons being placed there, so it's a safe assumption that there is an expansion over there. And these Zerglings are just doing a loop-de-loop around this around this map here. I guess the Overmind told them, go outside and run around the house a couple times. And that's what they're doing, and now they're going to go, see, spreading out some Zerglings, doing a good job of spreading out Zerglings, going to do some scouting. And another Phoenix doing some continuous hallucination scouting. I really like this play for MaNa. Really good job there. Keep that scouting up. Just going to check for a 4th here, and then just come up here, check for a 5th here in this position. And he's going to see there's nothing over there. So both players at 3 bases, and ooh, get another hatchery up. Love the macro hatcheries. Lowely is definitely going to stick to Infestor Zergling for the time being, and we'll probably see him switch into Ultralisks just because of the layer tech already going up into Hive. So I'm really expecting to see some Ultralisks come out. And Lowely has just been doing a really good job of controlling the map with these Zerglings. Keeps the fear in mind of his Protoss opponent that Zerglings can just pop at any moment. And but also likewise, MaNa has still been doing a really good job of maintaining scout, maintaining a knowledge of what his opponent is up to. So he's doing a really good job using those hallucinations for scouts. Hasn't been kept in the dark, and that's definitely going to play to his advantage as the game goes on. So let's see how many warp gates we're up to. What do we have, like 5 hanging out over here, 3 over here. 3rd is up and going. No 4th in sight for Lowely, and it looks like he's just going to stick with the 3 bases for Hatch for the time being. And what is he building here? Evolution Chamber, going to get some more upgrades. He's getting a Neural Parasite, which would be really good for the Colossus. A lot of Overlords just spreading out, just going to go creep up everything. And there's the Ford coming out for Lowely over there on the right side of the map. And over here on the left, just Overlords at every single expansion, just gooping up everything, layering their territory, and even doing a good job of spreading some Overlords here over on the right side of the map. Chrono boosting out some Blink. Not going to be a very effective skill for this game, just because of Zerglings and Infestors. I mean, they just basically, their job is to kill Stalkers. So we'll see how those Stalkers end up faring later on in this game. And Storm, researching the Psionic Storm and getting some High Templars out, that'll be extremely effective against this army composition. Storm does amazingly well against Zerglings, of course, and feedback is really great for Infestors. So hopefully, if MaNa wants to stay in this, he's going to get a lot more. Oh no, losing a lot of Zerglings there. Just going in for a little bit of scouting. You only need 1 Zergling to scout with, you don't need 50. So Lowely losing a couple of Zerglings there. nothing too serious. And we have a big drop heading out over here. A lot of overlords filled up to the brim with zerglings. Those things are just waiting to explode out of there. Adrenal glands just about done. +3 attack for zerglings, just about done. He's starting Spire actually, so maybe he's just going to tech into broodlords instead of ultralisks. Very odd tech switch up there. So while it's going to be a huge drop, and is he going to see this coming in advance? I don't know. At the same time, he's pushing out, so he's going to not be in position. MaNa is going to be outside of his base for this big, huge drop, and these zerglings are going to deal so much damage. Those things have 2 attack upgrades, and they're so close to having adrenal glands. He does see he's warping in a lot of stalkers. I don't know what's going to be enough. There are so many zerglings coming out here. Colossus coming up the ramp, doing cliff walks. Nice zerglings just raining all over all those stalkers, and looks like all the overlords are pretty much out. Zerglings are going to run back, and these Zerglings are going to try and deal some damage, killing a couple stalkers, and that actually got cleaned up pretty well. Colossus doing a really good job there. 12 kills on that guy, 13, 14 on them, and really good job of MaNa right there, just controlling that, getting there in time, and Lowely just kind of threw away a bunch of Zerglings there, but his supply count is still up. He still has a bunch of Infestors and Zerglings, got some Banelings loaded up in these Overlords, so he's going to do some Baneling bombs there. Mao's MaNa taking a 4th, and Baneling bombs right here. Not going to get anything. Those 2 going off on there. And those 2 are going to try and catch it. Oh, he's going to do some damage up. He actually ends up getting 1 there. We can check the... whoops. There we go. Workers killed 11. So getting 11 kills there on those probes there. But I think the Harvester's count is still, yeah, 11 kills, so favoring the Zerg now for the units. And there we do have the Greater Spire on the way, and +3 is done now. Just about done now. And he's got +1 armor upgrades. So these Zerglings with Adrenal Glands, +3 upgrades, those things are going to be completely sick. And we have, what is that, 9 Corruptors coming out, and a lot of Infestors, like 6 Infestors. He's got Banelings, he's going to have Broodlords, and I think as soon as these Broodlords pop, he is going to go on the attack, and we have another drop heading out over here. It actually may have favored him a little bit better to attack a little, maybe spread these out a little bit more, put some Zerglings, like 1 in each base. 8 Zerglings can do a lot of damage, and that's going to force your opponent to spread out, as opposed to putting, like, you know, a lot more in one single base. So let's see what he's going to do here. We have a big attack coming up here on the left, so a 2-pronged attack here. Most of the forces over here, all those Zerglings just getting slaughtered before they can do any damage. There's so many Zerglings here in the main. He's going to lose so many production facilities. He's just tearing up everything. At the left side, he's falling back, though. He's going to let these Zerglings deal a lot of damage from the main. Colossus showing up, save the day, and oh, coming to his choke point right there. Those Zerglings are just going to get slaughtered. Colossus sees what he's doing there, and more Zerglings at the top there. They're going to come in and try and kill this Colossus. If he micros well, Colossus shouldn't be a problem. He's just going to be able to save that pretty easily, taking out some gas and kind of delaying this base from mining anymore. So a little bit of damage there. Nothing too serious. Didn't even kill the Colossus there. But I think this is basically just buying time for our Zerg player to get the Broodlords, get the Banelings, get the Infestors, get the Zerglings with some sick upgrades. And this is a big attack. There's so many health bars there. This attack is going to be huge. 200, actually 191 supply, 193 versus 176. More Broodlords on the way, and more drops heading out. And Lowely's moving up with these Overlords. He needs to protect them. You cannot have those Overlords just hanging out when your opponent does have Blink Stalkers. Blink Stalkers are extremely deadly. And we can see Mao's MaNa with some Immortals. Actually, not very good unit. Immortals aren't going to be very effective against anything that his opponent has. And just drops heading over here on the right. Is he going to catch those? I don't know if he's going to catch him. Does he see it? Now he sees it. There he's going to get 1, but that's only 8 Zerglings. At the same time, these Broodlords are going to kill this entire gold base here in the middle. Thing's going to go down. And MaNa is going to be forced to decide what he's going to do here. Is he going to attack, trade bases, something like that? But now the Broodlords are heading over here to the right, and Zerglings and Infestors following up. The Observer does see all of this, and Mao's MaNa is going to be in a tough situation. He really needs to run up to the top of that ramp so his army doesn't get trapped in here. He's got a +3 attack upgrades here for himself, +1 armor. Those Broodlords are in a position far back. Baneling's going to drop here on top of all the units, and oh wow, the Protoss army just evaporated basically right there. All the weak units up front, and oh, blink. Actually, Stalkers blinked at the same time. They're going to take out. Nope, those Broodlords are so much damage in Infestors. And what's the supply count? 155 versus 127. Colossus got the memo to get out of town. Those guys are like, we kind of lost the rest of our army. Maybe we should leave. And now, doing some Neural Parasite on an Immortal. Going to come up here and take out this base. So while that fight didn't go so well for fight didn't go so well for MaNa. He did manage to take out 2 hatcheries, but at the cost of a lot of supply. And these Immortals are going to be trapped here. These Broodlords are just going to get some free kills. Those are like shooting fish in a barrel. More Zerglings coming here in the middle, doing a little more cleanup work. And this is definitely favoring Lowely, I would say, at this position. And Broodlords are headed into the main. They need to watch out because they have no protection. They're already about half life. He needs to keep an eye on those Broodlords. If he loses those are most of his big hitters. This High Templar can throw a Storm down there and drop a lot of damage on top of those, but he's pulling back. He's going to sacrifice a couple gateways, maybe buy himself some time. What are we working on? 24 Zerglings coming out, 2 more hatcheries being reproduced, 1 at the gold, 1 over here on the right side of the map. And now we got Lowely just pressing this main base. He's pushing up these Broodlords, but they're not protected. He needs to watch out. If he loses those Broodlords, he can be in trouble. Here you do have Infestors reinforcing. Nice fungal growth on top of all those Stalkers. And they're just going to get slaughtered. There are so many Broodlings out. MaNa is going to be forced to fall back. And he's going to lose so many valuable tech structures right here. A Twilight Council, a Robotics Bay. He's probably lost, what is this? He's going to lose up to 4 gateways here pretty soon. And these Broodlords are just destroying this base. More Broodlords coming out. There's, wow, what is that? 7 more Broodlords on the way. Keeping these 6 Infestors back in a decent range for protection in case the Stalkers do blink on top of them. And more Zerglings coming over here to the left. Nope, they're just kind of peeking around. Those guys are falling back. And at this point, MaNa really needs to decide, okay, I either fully need to commit and try and kill these Broodlords, which would probably be a bad idea because there are 16 Broodlords out. That is an insane number of Broodlings and Broodlords. MaNa just needs to counterattack and just kind of abuse the slowness of Broodlords. And he's going to lose that. Oh, wow, he loses a Colossus of these Broodlings. And these Broodlings have +3 attack 2 armor. Those are some sick Broodlings. And these Broodlords are just insane. And he's just going to get slaughtered if he blink right up there underneath all those Broodlords. He's going to one-shot all those Broodlords with these Stalkers, but is it going to be enough? There are just so many Broodlings. They're just all over the place. This is just a literal swarm on top of that army, and supply count now 140 versus 61. This is Lowely's game to lose. He's got multiple bases. And I think MaNa just has nothing to react to this. And we even have 6 Ultralists coming out. That is just going to be the nail in the coffin here. He just has so much air at this point. He would need Void Rays to deal with these Broodlords at this point. He's going to lose Gateways, and Sentries aren't going to do anything. That's the great thing about Broodlings. They completely ignore force fields. They just jump right over him from the air. And, yep, MaNa, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to end this game up very well. These I've never seen, this is a lot of Broodlords in a 1v1 actually. I've seen this in team games at 1v1, not so much. So MaNa just trying to buy some time here. I don't really see this happening. Blinking up 4 Stalkers to kill 20 Broodlords, not going to happen. And there we got the GG from MaNa. So we've got the at least unknown player to me, Lowely, taking a game against MaNa for Go for SC2 Cup. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. You can check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/EonShiKeno. See you later.